Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Lim and I'm the author of several fantasy novels for young adults, including Six Crimson Cranes and the forthcoming release, Her Radiant Curse. I would say that the first book that I can remember influencing me, I'm going to say two. So I really loved Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine, which is a retelling of Cinderella where Cinderella is cursed to have to obey any command that someone gives her. I read that when I was, I think, like 10 or 11. And I also really loved the Seven Waters trilogy, which is a retelling of the same fairy tale that inspired Six Crimson Cranes, The Wild Swans, and that's by Juliette Marillier. So I loved writing fan fiction when I was little. I remember I was in like third grade and we had a writing assignment and I read a lot of Sweet Valley not Sweet Valley, which is a popular series about a pair of twins called Elizabeth and Jessica. And so I wrote stories about them. And then later on, when I was in middle school, I started writing Sailor Moon and Star Wars fan fiction. And I actually posted them online and got like feedback from readers, which was very scary, but very fun. And that was my first really foray into writing. So I tend to write at the keyboard, but I do keep a journal and I write every day with pen and paper. And I think it's just really, for me, it's very valuable to have that tactile experience of writing with pen and being able to see my writing in ink. I really treasure that and I think it helps me organize my thoughts every day. So I'm pretty boring now. I have 3 kids, so I tend to write whenever I can. So usually when they're in school and then at night when they've gone to bed. I'm pretty easy about where I write. I can write anywhere, but I usually write in my office at my desk. But if I have to, I'll write on the train, I'll write in the car. I'm good in the car for an hour before I start to feel a little sick. So a lot of my novels draw inspiration from like the fairy tales and folk tales that I grew up reading and loving. I would say for certain novels, they're also from true stories, like Spin the Dawn, which I believe will be coming out shortly in France, was inspired by my grandmother, who was a seamstress when she first moved to the United States. And so I was always very interested in her work and I would sew with her when I was really little. Aside from that, I think a lot of it is also imagination and just things that interest me to write about. Her Radiant Curse is a tale of 2 sisters. Sometimes I describe it as Beauty and the Beast, but Beauty and the Beast are sisters. So one is a radiant beauty and the other one is cursed to look like a monster, in this case a snake. And so it's a tale of the love that these 2 have for each other and how they have to break their own curse. And it might not seem like beauty is a curse, but in this case, for the sister, it is. So they have to work together against like demons and monsters and find their love for each other over all of these hardships. I think these days that's a tough one because there's so much going on in the world. Well, that can often be said about most times, but I personally like to escape reality, especially because I'm writing fantasy. So yeah, that would be my answer, to escape.